So, a very good morning to one and all present here. Today marks the first session of the TED Talk series organized by Students Association of Information Technology on the topic Placements. On the occasion of 75 years of WCE and 20 magnificent years of IT department, let us commence the first TED Talk on the topic Placements. We have in our midst Mr. Saurav Gaikwad sir, a proud alumnus of IT department of Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli. Saurav sir currently works at ShareChat as a software development engineer. He has previously worked as a software engineer at Frontdoor and has also worked as an intern at eTown. Along with his skills in Java, Node.js, MongoDB, etc., Saurav sir enjoys competitive programming, software development, and mathematics. We are honored to have your guidance, sir. The virtual dais is all yours.
Thanks, Varangi. First of all, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yep. Thanks for that. So I will be sharing the presentation. Can you stop sharing?
Yes, Vishal.
I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, so let's start our session 1 on placements tech talk. Okay, so basically I'm working as a software development engineer 1 at ShareChat. I have joined ShareChat just 2 months back. Before that, I was working as a software engineer with Frontdoor Pune for almost 1 year, and before that, I was intern with Eaton Technologies for 6 months. Okay, I'm recent passer of 2020 from IT department itself, and so we will move ahead with our session now. Okay, so this is our index or called agenda for today's session. We will be starting with preparation strategy, then approaches for on-campus, off-campus placements, then a few of the interview experiences of 3 to 4 companies. Then we will talk about some best startups and MNCs in India as well as in offshores, and then we have Q&A session at the end. Okay, so we'll be starting with preparation strategy first. Okay, so first of all, moving ahead, I wanted to know who is the crowd over here, which pass out students are there 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. Okay, so
Sir, 23 and 24 for the most part.
Okay, 23 means okay, so none of them have placement seasons going on, right? So placement season is going for 2022 batch, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So so many of the students might be in second year right now, second year and first year, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So so this is we will be dividing this preparation session into 2 parts. First part would be our technical part, and second part would be our non-technical part. Okay, and so starting with technical parts. Okay, so many of the students or many of my friends have heard that data structure is one of the important subject in the academics that is asked in every company interview. Okay, so many of the students might be hearing that computer data structures and computer programming is one of the important aspects for cracking the interviews of big companies. Okay, so it's right. So without data structure algorithms and problem solving, you cannot crack the interviews of big companies. Okay, so first of all, data structure algorithms, I also mentioned the resources from where you should start learning it. Okay, so one of the best resource for it is Narasimha Karumanchi book. Okay, it's a book. You can find its PDF on the internet. Okay, so it's available in multiple languages like C and Java. So you can start with C and you can complete the whole book. Okay, once you complete that book, you will be able to crack the interview of many of the companies. Okay, because the book contains the various questions, and that questions are directly asked in the interviews. Okay, same questions. Most of the times the questions even don't change. Okay, the interviewers take direct questions from that. Okay, and second is the Geeks for Geeks. But Geeksfog is the secondary source. First of all, you should focus on this Narasimha Karumanchi book. Okay, this is for data structure algorithms, and then for problem solving, computer programming or coding, there are different terminologies called, but all of them are same. Okay, so for that you should have always heard about HackerRank, CodeShip, okay, LeetCode, Codeforces. So for HackerRank, it's for first year students, second year students, it's good to start with HackerRank. Okay, once you move in third year or maybe after second year, second semester, you should move on to CodeShip. Okay, CodeShip and LeetCode, or also Codeforces. Okay, so HackerRank is, you can call a basic preparation where for new joiners or new students can start with. Okay, and one thing like coding is the thing that is very important taking interview. Okay, so coding you should start from right from first year. Okay, so you might have also joined the class of Limay sir, or you might also started doing coding on your own. Okay, so doing a coding daily is an important activity in this preparation technical preparation. Okay, so daily coding means you should always do at least 2 to 3 codes daily. Okay, and currently as of all of us are working remotely and are having their college remotely, so you have a lot of time to do coding and this practice data structure algorithms. So you should utilize this time in this computer programming and data structure algorithms. Okay, so this is the very important things that you should focus on right in first year and second year. Okay, if you don't focus on like point number 3, point number 4, operating system, programming languages, it's okay. Okay, in the first year and second year, you should only focus upon these data structure algorithms, problem solving, and C language. Okay, so you should be very familiar with C. Okay, C++. Okay, both of them. So for first year, second year, these are the only 3 topics that are important. Okay, programming language, you can learn any programming language, but I would recommend that you should learn first C. Okay, that don't directly go for Python, Go, or Java. Okay, first learn C language, then after learning with C, you can go for C++. Okay, so C++ is once we can call optional. Okay, but not optional. Also, it's asked in various companies, but it's not as important as C. Okay, so you should first learn C, then it's optional for you that you choose C++ or Java. Okay, so you should have one knowledge of one functional language and one knowledge of what we call object-oriented language. Okay, so you should be strong in 2 languages. Okay, C and any of the object-oriented language like Java or C++. Okay, and then we have some languages like Python and Go. So Go is not basically used in the in the college. I also haven't used any kind of any Golang. Mostly Go is used in industries. Okay, so I use Python. So Python basically is used for coding purpose. Okay, so it solves your problem in a very less line of codes. Okay, so but you should not go for Python in the first second year. Okay, so you should go on the Python on the second semester or third year. Okay, so that's about language. And for languages, if you want to learn the language thoroughly, then you should read the book like Dennis Ritchie for C. And for Java, you have Durgasoft videos. Okay, so I would recommend the videos, not any kind of resource like you would be having some kind of PDF of that. Don't go for that. Start the videos in the second year. Okay, for Java, second year, second semester. Okay, then we have operating system. So operating system is a subject that is, I guess, in the third year for IT department, and for computer science, it's in the second year, second semester. Okay, so that is also one of the important, what we can say, preparation that we need to do for technical companies. Okay, so most of the companies, around 70-80% companies will ask you on operating systems. Okay, so in operating systems, many of you might not know about operating system, like you are as a first year, second year crowd. But in operating system, like there are different concepts, like you should be focusing on, like we have a concurrency control, then we have different operating scheduling algorithms. Okay, so there is a lot of things in operating system, so that are asked in companies. So you should focus on that. Okay, so operating system, we have 2 books for that, Morris Batch and Silva Chats. Okay, so you can start reading those books in your free time, but for the first year, second year guys, the focus is on the first 3 points. Okay, so we will move to the next slide. Then this is databases. I guess it's in third year for IT department, also as for CSE as well, I think. Okay, so for databases, we can say I have already listed down this list in the priority order. Okay, so you should follow this priority while studying this preparation. Okay, so this is in priority. So databases are the priority of after operating systems. Okay, so databases, like in databases, you should be familiar with all the concepts like transactions, what are transactions in database, how like different kinds of primary keys, what is the purpose of keys, then different kind of queries, like you should be able to what we can say, design any kind of query at runtime. Okay, so in interview, your interviewer might ask you to write some kind of query. Okay, so like it might be join query or any kind of nested query as well. So these are about queries. So you can, for queries, you can learn from online. You can just go for any kind of queries online. You can search. Okay, also HackerRank provides the SQL where you can practice SQL. Then for databases, I have listed the book like Silberschatz. And for databases, you should know the concepts. Okay, so queries are the things like you will have to use in the industry, but concepts of database are very important, like transaction, what is rollback. Okay, so that is important. Then we have system design. Okay, so system design is not for engineering students. Maybe we cannot call, I'm wrong, so we can call it for experienced person. It's not for a we can say call a fresher. Okay, so the guys who are in first year, second year, third year, you don't move to this topic. Don't read about this as of now. You can learn this topic once you pass out or once you are in fourth year. Okay, so this topic is very less important, system design. So the system design is mostly asked for the experienced person in the when you apply for off campus. Okay, so I will tell you about off campus at that time. Okay, so we have few slides again. And then we have computer network. So in the second year, I guess we have computer network subject. In the computer network, it's very important, like understanding networking, how the like packets are transferred, like how one system connects with another system, what are different topologies, all those things. Okay, so again, computer networks have less priority compared to the system design. Okay, then we have computer architecture. So computer architecture, I guess, in third year. So it's architecture of computer, like how computer is built. Okay, like what are the RAM, what are different kinds of databases are there, like how our whole architecture of the computer operating system is designed. Okay, so that is, we have one book for it, Morris Manno. Okay, so these are the things like you should prepare for placements. Okay, so slide number 2, this slide is we can say less important, and you should practice this in the third year or the fourth year. Okay, but slide number 1 is the very important when you should go for first year and second year. Okay, so understanding the crowd, I am telling you the preferences. If you have any doubt, you can ask in the chat as of chat. Okay, and then also we will have the Q&A session. So again, this is non-technical part. There are two parts of preparation. One is technical and another is non-technical. So non-technical part, you have to go when you will in fourth year or once your placement season starts, then you have to focus on this part. Okay, so this part is only for third year students or fourth year students. Okay, so one is the resume or CV building. Okay, so how to make your resume, how it should be. Okay, so we can have a different session on it. Like it's a very we can say a vast concept of building the resumes. Okay, so what things you should include in the resume, what not. Okay, so how should be a resume designed. Okay, what things you should focus on and what things you shouldn't write in the resume, what things you should write. Okay, so for let's take it for 2 minutes. So for resume building, yeah, I think the first things you should be mentioning about your position of responsibilities, what responsibility you are handling. Okay, maybe technical, non-technical. Okay, second thing, you should mention about your college details. Okay, so maybe 10, 12, and then engineering, your CPIs, all those things. Okay, then third thing, most important thing, you should focus on projects. Okay, what are the projects you do in the academics that are very important. Okay, so whenever you focus, go for any company, interview for company, whether it's off campus or on campus, so projects are very important thing. So, okay, so without project, many of the people will fail in cracking the interviews. So you should be you should have a thorough knowledge of the project. Like you should know each and everything in the project, like what databases you use in the project, what was your approach. Okay, what design algorithms you applied. If you used any kind of algorithms in project, then you should be able to explain that complete algorithm to the interviewer. Okay, so projects are the very important thing when you go for interviews. Okay, so as I told you, like data structure algorithms, competitive programming is important. As similar way, these projects are important in the interviews. Okay, so yeah, so that is how in the resume building, third point should be your projects. Then our fourth point should be like achievements, what achievements you have done in this whole journey of 4 years. Okay, and also you can mention some kind of non-technical achievements over there as well. Okay, then you should be having some technical skills, right? In the 4 years, you might have learned some kind of technical things, like you might have learned some kind of language, some kind of algorithm, some kind of, we can say, any framework. Okay, so you should mention that in the technical skills in your resume part. And then fourth part, you can mention your strengths and weaknesses, like what strengths and weaknesses do you have. Okay, all those things. So whenever you are facing for interviews, so you should be having your introduction already fixed. Okay, so you should be like, suppose the interviewer says you introduce yourself, so you should be like very quick that I know all about your introduction, like what is your name, okay, so what from which branch you are, what's your CPI, what's so from which town you are, okay, then from what are your projects, what project you do in the 4 years of engineering, okay, just don't mention the name of the projects, mention 1 or 2 lines about that project as well, okay, for each and every project. Then you should mention your achievements in the your past history over 4 years in the introduction part, okay. Then also you should mention about some your area of interest, like what area of interest you are actively active in, okay, so all those things. And yeah, that's about introduction. And then the career goals. So many of the things in non-technical things, like interview will ask you what is your career goal, okay, so what you where you want to see yourself in the down the line about 5 years, 10 years, okay. So you should be able to answer those questions. So what is your career goal, okay, what is your career objective, you can call. So you should be a very what we can say firm on that. You should not change your career goals and this we can say career objective in time to time in the interview, okay. So it should be very clear, okay. Then strength and weakness I have covered, okay. So what are your strengths and weaknesses, okay. We can ignore weaknesses, but you should cover strengths in the your resume, okay. Then achievements, I already told you that, like achievements, what achievements you have covered in the last 4 years or even before that, okay, so from school or colleges point. Then many other companies also ask you puzzles, okay. So puzzles is not the thing that you will learn in a year, okay. So puzzles in the thing that you will learn by doing coding, or doing by some kind of reading things, okay, doing some kind of blocks. So puzzles are the things you cannot read in the last final year. So it's a very low priority thing. Very less companies ask puzzles, but you should have some reading activity on puzzles. Like every day you can read one puzzle, okay. So you have a lot of time. We have around 2 to 3 years of this engineering for doing placement preparation. So you can just read one puzzle daily, okay. There are a lot of websites online that where you can read puzzles, okay. So that was about non-technical part. If you have any questions, you can put in the chat, okay. So I'm moving to next slide. Okay, so we will focus on now what we can call placement, how placement actually occurs, okay, on campus. We have two different things for it. Like one is off campus and another is on campus. On campus means the company which comes to college. Off campus means the company which you apply like on our own, okay, or we don't have any kind of concern with the college, okay. We are applying it by our own knowledge or own referral network, okay. So yeah, on-campus recruitment. So on-campus recruitment means that when company comes to college, okay, so you should be basically focusing on aptitude skills, okay. So along with data structure algorithms projects, another important thing is aptitude skills. So aptitude, most of the companies, like if you apply for companies more than 6 lakhs, 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs, 8 lakhs companies, then most of the companies won't ask you aptitude skills. Okay, aptitude means like those like what we can call maths, logical reasoning, okay, verbal, okay, all those things covered in the aptitude skills. Okay, coding is not covered, okay. For coding we have different coding test, and for aptitude we have different aptitude test, okay. So companies like Infosys, Accenture, Persistent will ask you some kind of aptitude skills, okay. The day sharing companies we call basically, okay. So these are called day sharing because they are service based companies, okay. So in those companies you might be asked these aptitude skills, okay. They will give you one test of 1 hour 30 minutes, 1 hour or 30 minutes test, and they will ask you some 50 MCQs on mathematics, logical reasoning, then we can verbal, all those things, okay. So that thing you can prepare in the 4th year. It's not important that you should focus on it in the right from 1st year, 2nd year, 3rd year, okay. It's a very low priority thing, but I have mentioned that at the top of the what we can say slide. Then we have, like, suppose you are in the 1st year, 2nd year, okay. So always focus on the companies. Right from 2nd year you should start focusing on the company. Like this, you are always knowing that what companies are coming in the campus, so you should start focusing on the companies, okay. So like suppose I want to join PubMatic, okay, so I want to join Veritas, I want to join Druva, so you should focus on all those companies whatever you want to join, okay. And then start understanding the business model. What is the business model, what the people are doing, okay. Start using the alumni network, okay. So it's a very it's a Walchen is a very like we are celebrating 75th year of the Walchen, right? So Walchen has a very good alumni and a very, what we can say, strong alumni network, because once you go on LinkedIn you can search for like there is no single company where you don't find a Walchen alumni. In every of the company we will have Walchen alumni. So use that alumni network. We have alumni portal for our college, so use that, and from you can contact your seniors, then understand their business model, okay. Suppose you have one senior who is working on Druva, so you can ask him like what is the business model of your company, what you are doing in the company, okay. If the company comes to campus, then what questions might the company ask? Okay, so all those things you can ask with your seniors. Okay, so the understanding their business model comes to different things. Okay, so suppose one day one company comes, Veritas comes, next day Druva comes. So the business model of every company is different one. Okay, so once you target the companies, you focus on their business models. Okay, so many times what happens, companies give the presentation before the what we can say this hiring process. Okay, so in the presentations they explain their business model. Okay, so in the presentation ask the questions like whatever doubts you are in the business model, because once the interview starts or whenever the interview is there, the interviewer might ask you what things about our company you know, like what Veritas does, what PubMedic does. Then you should be able to answer like this is your business model, these are the things you are doing, this is the technology stack you are using. Okay, so all those things comes under this business model. Then focus on academic projects. This is for specifically for campus recruitment. Okay, so whenever you are from campus going for campus recruitment, you should be focusing on your projects. Okay, academic projects means the projects you did in the second year, third year, and the fourth year. Okay, maybe fourth year project is not complete, is in the progress stage, but still you should be able to answer like what are the topics, what are the domain of the project, why you chose the project, what problem you are solving by that project. Means suppose we are doing one project. Okay, then what is the outcome of that project, what are the objectives of that project, like once the project is completed what you will achieve. Okay, in terms of technical things and non-technical things. So you should focus on all those things about projects. Projects are not just only the problem, not just like doing the coding and doing some kind of running the code. You should be able to solve some kind of problem. Okay, the projects, academic project should be like you should be solving some kind of problem. Okay, so uh, let's assume that we have one problem of electricity. Okay, so it was one of my college project in the third year. I will explain that project. Okay, so in the lab many people were coming to lab and they were not switch offing the lights and fans. Okay, so this is the problem. Okay, problem is that they are not switch offing the lights and fans, so unnecessary electricity wastage is there. So you should identify such problems. Okay, you should be able to identify, think on your own basis, like what are the problems around me, and on the basis of the problem you should be designing the project. Okay, and then you should be moving on to technology stack. What people are currently doing in the academics are that people are first choosing the technology stack and then they are identifying the problem and then they are doing the projects. Don't do that. First identify the problem, then design the technology stack and then implement the project. Okay, so that is about projects. Then again there is a very less competition in the on-campus recruitment. Like you might be saying that like these guys going in the wrong direction. Okay, it's not like that. Okay, less competition. You might be saying that like we are 100 people, 150 people coming for one company. Okay, 150 students for coming for applying for one company. It's very less. Okay, once you go off campus there will be 5 to 600 people applying for company. So once you go off campus you will be competing with IIT NIT students. Okay, once you're in Walchand you are competing only with your friends. Okay, you know about your friends, like what are their strengths and what are their weaknesses. But once you apply off campus you don't know what people are participating in the contest, what people are going in the interviews, from which college they are. So it becomes very competition in the off campus recruitment. Okay, so I would say it's a very less competition in the on campus recruitment, and you should take at least one company from campus. Okay, and then you should focus on off campus once you pass out or once you are in fourth year, but you should take at least one company from a campus, and again it's a very less competition over there. Okay, so that's about on-campus recruitment. If you have any questions you can ask. Okay, then we will move to off-campus recruitment now. Okay, this topic would be not very useful for the second year students, first year students, but it would be useful for fourth year students. Okay, third year, fourth year students. Okay, so one thing is that many I will tell you my story. I got placed in the Eaton. Okay, Eaton is the company which comes to Walchand on the first day. Okay, until 2019. Until 2019, it was coming as a day one company, but now it's again I guess comes late. So I was placed in the first company called Eaton. Okay, so I was like talking about my story. So I was not very active student in the college. Like I was not a very active coder. Okay, I was not doing coding. I was doing just normal coding, and I was not very confident on my coding. Okay, so what I did is that I thought that Eaton is coming, giving good package, and it's the first company. We should take the offer. Okay, so I was in very what you can say disgusting situation that which offer to take, whether to take this offer or to go for next offer or to wait for another companies or to take the offer of Eaton. Okay, so I was in very confusing stage. Okay, but at the end I took the offer of Eton. Like it was last round. What last round HR round was for was there for Eton, and I took the offer. Okay, so I would suggest for the students who are in the first year, second year, third year, fourth year. So mostly try to don't take the offer of Eton. Okay, so Eton is basically a company called it's a electrical company, not a core IT company. So I would suggest it comes day one company. So I would suggest everyone who is doing coding daily. Okay, I'm saying only for coders who are doing coding daily. Don't go for that company. But other students who are weak in coding or don't do coding or don't have don't have a lack of confidence. Okay, so then you should try for Eton. Okay, so I was placed in Eton, and then after what I did my internship in Eton for 6 months, and after that I started applying for off campus. Okay, after doing internship of 6 months, because the task and the things what I was doing in the Eton were not technical one, where just I was using not non-technical things or the things like that are not having any kind of coding in it. Okay, I was just doing the normal things like UI things. Okay, where I just knew drag and drop and all those things. So I was not doing any kind of coding. Okay, so after that 6 months, I started applying for off-campus recruitment. Okay, so in off-campus recruitment, first point is how to apply. Like many of the students are asking me also, every day or every 2 to 3 days, I get a message on the WhatsApp or somewhere that how you applied for ShareChat, how you applied for Front Door. Okay, so one thing you remember, guys. First thing, your resume should be strong. Okay, so your resume should have strong points in it. Okay, so that in campus, what happens? Everyone's resume gets shortlisted. Okay, once you're in campus, once you clear the test, everyone's resume will get shortlisted. Resume is the secondary theme in campus, but once you go off campus, resume becomes the very first important thing. Okay, in campus, everyone gives the test. Okay, for any company, everyone gives the test, aptitude test or coding test. But once you go off campus, first thing will be a resume shortlisting. A resume will be shortlisted. Okay, once your resume is shortlisted, then you will be given a coding test, aptitude test, and then your further process will begin. Okay, so your resume should be strong once you start applying for off-campus recruitment. Okay, so how to apply means, like, there are multiple platforms you can apply. So one platform is that InstaHire. Okay, InstaHire is a good platform that has very good companies listed over it. Okay, so there are companies above 8 lakhs only on the InstaHire. Okay, so companies like below 8 lakhs are not there in the InstaHire. So InstaHire is a good platform where you should sign up yourself and update your profile and then start applying for companies. Okay, so I'm talking about third year and fourth year students. Okay, so InstaHire is one good platform. Then you should approach LinkedIn. Okay, second platform I would suggest is LinkedIn. Okay, start using LinkedIn. Everyone from first year, start building your profile on LinkedIn. Start making connections. Try to use our alumni network. Okay, start making connections with the Walchens alumni on LinkedIn. Okay, of different companies. Okay, so LinkedIn will help you in getting those things. Okay, many other HR people or many of our alumni are posting things on the LinkedIn, like this company is hiring for this position. Okay, so from that you will be able to know that where is the opening is going on. Okay, and where should I apply. Then you can use referral over LinkedIn. Okay, you can message DM, direct message, or you can apply over the LinkedIn as well. Okay, you can you always you apply using referral. Okay, so I would suggest that once you see that one of the companies hiring, don't directly apply with referral. Take the referral of any of the Walchen alumni. Just search on the LinkedIn whatever the company you want to apply, and write in front of it, write Walchen. Okay, suppose I want to apply for PubMedic, so I will search on the LinkedIn PubMedic place Walchen. Okay, I will get the list of people who are in the PubMedic from Walchen, who are password of Walchen. Okay, just DM them, make the connection request with them, DM them that this is the guy, I have this experience, I am in the current, suppose you are in final year, I am currently in final year, I have done the projects in this domain, so I am a good competitive programmer, like your whatever the skills you have. Okay, so he will read your message, send him the resume as well at the when you're messaging him. He will once review your resume and he might refer you. Okay, so use this technique of LinkedIn, like direct message to your Walchen alumni. Okay, or any of the people also you can use. You can also message your HR or what we can say the manager or anyone in the company. Okay, for referral purpose. So this is the one thing. Second is first one was the InstaHire. Second is LinkedIn. And third are the things like Naukri.com and all those things. Okay, so these are low priority things. I would not suggest Naukri.com and all those things, but I would suggest this LinkedIn and this InstaHire. Okay, and then again you are keep in touch with your seniors or alumni. Okay, so they will will tell you that opening is in this company or this company going on. Okay, suppose you want to apply for Dhruva, take the help of your senior, immediate seniors, that how we are applying in Dhruva, like is there any kind of opening over there. Okay, so this is the first point, how to apply. And then aptitude coding problem, coding, I told you already, resume is the first shortlisting process, then you will be getting aptitude coding round. Okay, most of the companies, once you apply for off campus, you will not face the aptitude test. Okay, you will mostly face coding test. Okay, I am talking about off campus companies above 6 lakhs. Okay, I am not talking about companies below 6 lakhs, but because below 6 lakhs you will get anyhow, you will get the offer from campus. Okay, from campus no one remains unplaced. Everyone at the end of the placement season, everyone will have some kind of offer, at least 4 lakh 5 lakh offer. Okay, so I'm talking about off campus above 6 lakhs. Okay, then how to take feedback of interview rounds. Okay, so like it's an off campus process. Like in what happens in campus, the company once comes to campus, it gives you the result in 1 or 2 days. Okay, company comes on Monday, they give their final result on Wednesday, at max Wednesday. Okay, so they conduct the rounds in 2 days, and at the Wednesday or Thursday morning they will give the result. But this is not a thing in the off campus. Once you apply off campus for one position, there might be 50 candidates in the interview. Okay, and the companies are very smart. What they will do, they will have the interviews of all 50 candidates, and then out of 50 they will choose the best one, and then they will recruit him. Okay, but on campus what happens, like all the things are fixed. Like companies are having fixed mind that I want to take 10 students from this college, so anyhow they will complete their criteria, they will take 10 students from the campus. But once you go off campus, it's not any kind of criteria, because there are a lot of candidates who are in the pipeline. Okay, who have applied for that position. So in the off campus what happens, like your interview result will not come in just 1 or 2 days. It might take 1 week as well, or 1 month as well. Okay, for taking the result. Okay, so how to take feedback of your interview round. So for one thing, once your interview is completed, on the next day you can email the HR where you should the interview link that I have given this round, and can I get my feedback. Okay, once you try, don't call the HRs directly, don't call them, take their email and then reply to them that I have given these rounds, do you have any kind of feedback for this. Okay, so after 1 day, if the HR replies, go for second day, third day, then wait for 1 week, again apply for, again email him after 1 week. Okay, so you have to take the feedback of the interview. Like HR will not call you many times. HR like a lot of candidates are applying off campus, so HR people are not responding, so you have to ask the HR that what is the feedback of my interview rounds. Okay, so email them. Okay, then we have another aspect, like how to negotiate the offer. So I will not talk about this lot upon this topic. I have just mentioned it, but if anyone has any doubt in this, how to negotiate, I will answer them on the personal. Like you can WhatsApp me or call me. Okay, because this is a very different concern. Like it's not like once a company comes to campus, their CT structure is always a fixed one. Okay, and it's the same for every candidate. Okay, and it's disclosed to every candidate. Okay, but once you go off campus, you never disclose your CTC. Okay, once you go off campus, your CTC might be different than the other candidate who has been hired. Okay, so it depends on their skills. Okay, so I will not cover this point, but if you have any question, you can ask me on the WhatsApp or call. And again, as I told you, there is a high competition in the off-campus recruitment, because there are 500 to 600 people are applying for 10-15 positions. Okay, but in campus, the company comes in the mindset that I want to hire 10 people, and only there are 150, 200 people are applying for that. Okay, so it becomes a very less competition in the campus. So this was about off-campus recruitment. If you have any doubt, you can ask on the chat, or at the end we can discuss. Okay, so I will be sharing an interview experience of my few of the companies. Like I had the offer of these companies right from 2020. When I was passed out, I was having the offer of Eaton. Okay, as I told you, I did my internship with Eaton for 6 months, and after that I moved to Front Door. Okay, so in Front Door I worked as a software engineer for 1 year, and over there I worked on a technology like Golang, MongoDB, okay, React.js, etc. Okay, so I will tell you the experience of 2 of the 3-4 companies over here. So Front Door was the company. After that I moved to ShareChat. Okay, but when I moved to Front Door, from Front Door to ShareChat, I had the offer from these middle companies like Ola, Dhruva, Matic, Mindtickle, and Licious. Okay, so I will not cover all those companies. I will just cover 3-4 companies out of them. So Eaton comes to campus. So Eaton was a day one company. So Eaton mostly focused on pointers. The guys who are pointer like above 8.5, or above 9, okay, the company will directly take their interviews. There is no kind of shortlisting process not there. Like they don't have any kind of aptitude or coding test. They just take the first round as a what do you call it, group discussion round. After group discussion round, you will have one technical round, and then you will have directly HR round. Okay, so they don't take multiple rounds. So only there is a one single round of technical. One we have the first round would be your group discussion, second would be technical round, and third would be your HR round. Okay, it's a very quite simple process in the Eton. Eton will just ask you some few of the projects of your academics, and if you are good pointer, it's a 99%, 95% probability that you will get placed in the Eton. Okay, so Eton is the company which is very easy to crack from the campus if you have good pointer and good projects in your what we can say academics. Then I moved from Front Door to from Eton to I moved Front Door. Okay, so Front Door was the company I applied off campus. Okay, so as I told you, I was getting suffocated in the Eton. Like the task what I was doing, I was feeling suffocated that like this task is what the task I am doing, what my friends are doing. My friends are doing coding in Java, Golang, C, C++. What I am doing, I was just doing drag drop things. Okay, so I started applying off campus, and I got the offer from Front Door. Before Front Door also, at the time of Front Door also, I had two other offers like from Tata Click. Tata Click is the one company, and Synchro. Okay, they were two companies. I was any offer, but I joined Front Door. Okay, so the experience of Front Door was like it was having the coding test. Okay, so as I moved off campus, now there came a coding test. Okay, so first one was the resume shortlisting. I applied through LinkedIn via referral. Okay, then my resume got shortlisted. Then I got the HackerRank test. Over there are 3 problems. Okay, so you in the off campus, once you go off campus, also in campus, you will be having a one coding test. Okay, so in the coding test, you might be having 2 to 3 problems, and you will be giving a time around 1 hour or 1.5 hours. Okay, so in that 2 to 3 problems, one problem will be easy problem, one would be a medium level problem, and one would be a hard problem. Okay, so once you go in campus, once company comes to campus, if you don't solve, there are 3 problems. If you solve only one problem also, then also you might get shortlisted. Okay, because like there are 100 people, and only let's say 20 people were able to solve 2 problems, and 30 people were able to solve only one problem. Okay, so what will happen, suppose company wants to hire around 20 candidates. So what they will do, they will select 50 candidates. So 50 means like 20 who solved 2 problems, and 30 who solved one problem. Okay, so now in campus, what happened, you solved one problem also, and you were shortlisted for the interview process. But once you go off campus, you have to solve all around 2.5 or 2 problems. Okay, so if you have 3 problems in the contest, you should be able to solve at least 2 problems, at least 2 or 2.5. Okay, below that, if you were below 2, you will not be able to shortlist, because companies have multiple candidates giving the test. Okay, but once it comes to campus, we are only 100 people are doing, and company wants to hire 20 people. So anyhow, they will need 50 people in the interview process. Okay, so they will take the students who have solved one coding question also. Okay, but once you go off campus, you have to solve at least 2 to 3 coding questions. Okay, so you should be that strong in the coding part. They had a HackerRank test in the Front Door, and then there were 3 interview rounds: technical round 1, technical round 2, technical round 3. Okay, and once you go off campus, mostly you don't have HR rounds. HR rounds are only on campus. Once you start applying for off campus, you don't have HR rounds. Very rarely companies conduct HR rounds. Okay. So technical round 1 mostly goes on data structure, algorithm, problem solving. For many of the companies, for 90% companies, data structure algorithms, the first round you go up once you apply off campus, or also on campus. Most of the companies have data structure algorithm first round. Then second round, I was having the project round. So many of the projects were discussed in the second round, like what project I did in the company, in the previous company, like Eton, what are the academic projects. Okay, all those discussed in the second round. And in the third round, these are a manual round. Okay, mostly third round is taken by manager of the company, like the team in which we will be getting hired. The manager of that team takes the third round. Okay, so they will ask you a few questions like what projects you did in the previous company, what are your strong points. They will explain you the tech stack. They will explain you the in which team you will be working. Okay, all those things. So mostly if you crack third round, mostly if you crack first 2 rounds, the third round is just a formality one. Okay, but again, it might be a different situation that you might get rejected from third round as well. But mostly, once you clear once you clear first 2 rounds, you are more probability that you will clear third round. Okay, so for third round, you should be very good at projects. Okay, what projects you did in the previous company, what you did in the academics. So that is very important, becomes the third round, because manager will ask you all those things. Okay, that was about Front Door. In the Front Door, I worked for 1 year. Okay, and after that, I started again applying for other companies, because after having 1 year of experience in the Front Door, again I was feeling some kind of saturation level over there because I was having very less projects to work upon, and I was seeing that my growth is not my growth was becoming stagnant. Okay, I was not able to grow myself. Okay, because of very less projects, and the class I was doing was a very trivial one. Okay, so after that I started again applying off campus. So off campus I got the offers from like companies like Licious. Licious is the company in the Bangalore. I will not disclose the cities of those companies, but you can see that these companies are very good one. You can search on the internet, you will get to know about cities of all those companies. So uh, like Licious was one of the offer I had. I had an offer of Mindtickle. Mindtickle is very good company from Pune. It doesn't comes to campus, but it's a very good company. Okay, so Mindtickle we can call top 5 company from Pune. It's in the top 5. Okay, then I had also offer from PubMatic. I will not share about inter experience of this Licious, Mindtickle, PubMatic. Okay, so Dhruv also you can for inter experience of Dhruv and PubMatic you can ask your seniors. Okay, or also you can call me in personal. I will tell you that because Dhruv and PubMatic comes to campus, so you might be knowing about it. Okay, so you can ask any of the senior over there. Okay, so I will explain you the inter experience of Ola. Okay, so Ola, you might be knowing of Ola Uber, right? So Ola is the one company in the mobility domain. Okay, so Ola, I had an offer from Ola Pune. Okay, Ola is in Pune also. It was not there in the Pune until last year. It just came in Pune in the last 6-7 months. Okay, so Ola had for SDN position. Ola had 3 rounds. First round was a 3 rounds and a technical coding test. First was a coding test, and there were again 3 questions, and I was able to solve all those 3. Okay, and then first round there was a coding round. Purely people will call you the it's a coding round. We will call a data structure algorithm round. Okay, and second round was again my system design round. So as I told you that in the preparation point, like system design is the thing that is very important once you start applying and off campus and once you are experienced. Okay, so I was having 1 year experience, so there was second round for me, system design round. So I will not go into depth of system design. So system design is things like how will you design one other project. Okay, suppose we have one project, like suppose assume that Facebook project. Okay, we have Facebook application, and in the Facebook how will you design the like things like what will be your server, what will be your database, what will be your what we will call request, what will be your response. Okay, all those things, what will be what servers you will be using, all those things come in the system design. Okay, system design means there are in the system design there are 2 concepts: high level design and low level design. Okay, low level design means like what classes you will like. Low level design always go with the classes. Okay, in low level design you might need to code. Okay, but in high level design you don't have to code. In high level design you have to explain that what are the things in your project are there, like what things you will be governing, or what is your algorithm in the project. Okay, so what is your network call, what is your networking you are using the project, all those things. High level design comes in these things come in high level design. And in low level design, like things like design a database for book my show, design a database for or you can say design a class diagram for this book my show. Okay, all this comes in the low level design. Okay, so these are those things: low level design, high level design under system design. Okay, these are my second round, and third round was a manual round. In the manual round, again few questions on the projects, and my few past experience in the front door was asked. Okay, and at last I got the offer from ShareChat. So I will tell in brief about ShareChat. So you might be knowing about application ShareChat application, right? ShareChat Moj, right? Uh, like this is the application, like mini, we can call it the Facebook of India. ShareChat is called Facebook of India. So it's available in different multiple languages, like it's available in 15 different multiple regional languages. Okay, and it has it has got the very good popularity in India. So ShareChat is one of the unicorn startup. Okay, so you can read about it on internet, like what is unicorn. Okay, it's a unicorn startup. And in the ShareChat overall interview process is like that. ShareChat will have 3 rounds of technical interview and 1 coding test. So in the coding test, I was having 3 coding questions, and I was able to solve 2.5. Okay, so in the last question, my few test cases were failing, but still I got the what we can say call for inter rounds. But in the ShareChat, what happens is that mostly people who solve 2.5 and 3 coding problems, they will only get the what you can say call for interview. Okay, so I was able to solve 2.5 questions. There were different questions, like the one was on the tree, one was on the graph, and one was on the DP. Okay, so one was easy, one was medium, one was hard. Okay, so many of the companies follow this pattern only: one is easy, one is medium, and one is hard. Okay, then in the first round it's a core round. First round is called as data structures and algorithm round, DSA round. Okay, in that round 3 coding questions were asked to me. I will not disclose the questions, but it was, yeah, problems on DP tree graphs. Okay, so 3 coding questions were asked for me, and once you go start applying off campus, you don't have to write pseudo code. You have to write complete runnable code. Okay, so like many people might be having doubt that coding questions are asked in the interview. Then I can explain pseudo code. Pseudo codes are the things that work on campus. Okay, in the campus also many companies ask coding questions directly. You have to write the code, but it's okay when it's if you're in campus. But once you go off campus, you have to directly write the code, runnable code. Like they will share you the screen, like you have to share the screen, and you have to open the editor, and you have to code, and you have to run the code at the end. Okay, in the interview. Okay, and your camera is on, all those things are on. Okay, so now the process has completely changed once you are applying virtually, because once before and applying off campus is very difficult task, because you have to take the leave from the current company, go into the office of the new company, give the interviewer there, then come back. You have to take leaves in the current company. Okay, and suppose one company is from Bangalore, sometimes, and you are in Pune, you have to travel to Bangalore, to their office, give the interview, and they again all the interviews are not taken in the one day. You have to travel for 2 to 3 days for these different interviews. Okay, and also same situation in the Pune also. If you start applying, you have to travel for every round. You have to take the leave. But now, because of this COVID and virtual things, that it has become very easy. You can take out 1 hour from your current company and give interviews of other companies. Okay, so that's why I was able to crack these multiple interviews, because I was having a lot of time, and I was also able to crack the interviews of Bangalore companies, because I don't have to travel over there and all those things. Okay, so I was having ample amount of time to give the interviews. Okay, the first round was cleared. I have solved all the 3 coding questions. Then second round, system design round was there. So as I told you about system design, I was asked the question of Book My Show, design a system design for Book My Show. Okay, you can search on the internet like the same question, like design a system design for Book My Show. Okay, so you will able to see what is the answer expected. And the third round was again a director round. Third round is as always a director or a manager round. The director of the company or manager will take the round, or any of the higher experienced person will take the round. Okay, so in the last round also there was one coding question asked to me, and few of the non-technical questions were asked. Okay, so this is the experience of ShareChat. So ShareChat is one of the good company in India. Okay, so if you are any of the like if you are interested in this ShareChat, you can always ask me. You can also always ping me, and I will refer you there. Okay, also you can ask me for any of the company listed over here. I will try to refer you there. Okay, so these were my few experiences of the few companies that I faced in the last 1 year. Okay, so now we will talk about few best tech startups and MNCs in India. Okay, what are the best 5 best around, like best means I will call around there are 70 to 80 best tech startups in India and MNCs. Okay, around 80 companies are there. I'll log them in the next slide. Okay, so these are the best companies in India. Okay, also overseas. Okay, so we will just go through them. Like first is the Apple, then we have Facebook. Like these are the companies I have what we can say ordered in the what we can say top to lower order. Okay, so Apple, Facebook, then we have Coordination, Google, Uber, and also they are in the sorted according to the CTC order. Okay, like what are the CTC they are giving, based on that the company Apple and the Facebook have the toppest CTC, and the lowest company are in the bottom. So Bloomberg, then we have Microsoft, LinkedIn, Amazon, ShareChat, Rubrik, Zomato, DirectEye, Hotstar, Ola, Nutanix, Cohesity, Swiggy, VMware, Gojek we have, then we have Delivery, Goldman Sachs, Atlassian, Cisco, Netflix, Zeta and DirectEye are the part of Media.net. Okay, then we have PhonePe, we have Slack, BookMyShow, MakeMyTrip, Flipkart, Myntra, Mindtickle, Arista Networks. Okay, so Arista Networks is in Pune, Mindtickle also is in Pune. Okay, then all above companies like what I told you are in Bangalore. Okay, then we have PayPal, Paytm also is in Pune, Salesforce, Morgan Stanley, Mumbai, Cast24 is in the Noida. Okay, then we have Razorpay, Bangalore, Tower Research Capital is a good company, CrowdStrike, it's in Pune, Blue Shift in Pune. Then we have Tekian from Bangalore. Then we have Navi, Byju's, PharmEasy, Dealshare, Ula, 6sense, Robin, Zerodha, Kite, Upstocks, Grow, Cred, Innovator, Udan, American Express. Okay, so the companies that I told you, like first 5 euros, are the very good companies. Okay, I will call it the cream companies that you should focus on right from your first year, second year. Okay, so you what happens basically when are you in the college, you basically focus on the companies that are coming to campus. Okay, you have to basically also enlarge your view. Okay, you have to explore the things. You start exploring the things right from first year, like what are the good companies that currently are hiring. Like good companies not based on their CTC but based on their projects and tech stack. Okay, so the top 5 rows are very good companies in India. Okay, and now the last 2 rows are the companies that are from Pune. Okay, all of the last 2 rows are from Pune companies and coming to Walchand campus, like Oracle. Oracle is not coming, but it's a Pune based company. Then we have PubMatic, Drua, Topper is from Mumbai, Veritas. Then we have FlexTrade, Sahaj, Siemens, Josh, Nice, Eaton, ThoughtWorks, Qualys, Talentica. Talentica is the one company which doesn't hire the software developers from Walchand. Okay, they basically want software developers from IIT and ITs. Okay, and COEP, VJTI, but they will hire you for the QA role. Okay, so yeah. So Frondor, that was a previous company. Then we have Barclays, Medley Pharmacy, Tracelink, Oya, HSBC, BNR Mellon, Deutsche Bank, EQ Technologies, Mindbody, Olara. Okay, so if you want, guys, you can take the screenshot of this slide because these are the things like best companies in India. Okay, so I have tried to cover all the companies, like best companies from India. Okay, so above this list of companies, you will hardly find any good company that is not listed over here. All the companies are listed over here. Okay, so if you have any kind of doubt in these companies or hiring process, you can ask to me or you can contact any of the seniors, because we have a lot of seniors working at. You will find at least one senior working all the above companies. At least one senior, I will say. Okay, so you can always search the company name, and in front of that you can put Walchand, and then go over LinkedIn and search and have a contact with the that company alumni. Okay, so these are the list of the companies that basically I have. Okay, then we have now Q&A session. If you guys have any kind of question, then you can ask to me. You can put in the chat, or also you can unmute yourself and then ask the question if you have any. I will stop sharing my screen.
Yes, sir, there are a few in the chat box.
Okay. For electronic students, yeah, database are not in the syllabus. Okay. Actually, for electronic students, I have missed a few things. Okay, so I will. This is a good question. So that will. So for electronic students, what happens basically? You start making the friends from IT and CSE department. Okay, so the students who are from electronics department, start building the friends from IT department. Okay, if you many of the subjects might not be there in the electronics. Okay, so like operating system might not be in electronics. Okay, might be the database is also not there in electronics. Okay, so these are the subjects you can learn by your own. Okay, it's not that you have to learn from faculty. Okay, the students who are from electronics, they can also learn these subjects from net, or also from reading the books. I have already given the what you can say the references to learn those things. Okay, I will share that slide in the meeting, or also I can give it to you people. I will share with the Swarangi, that then she can share with you. Okay, so you can read those things online or from books. Okay, so I think I answered your question. Then okay, Swarangi, I have just finished my second year. I do have a general knowledge of C, C++, Java, and I am loving AWS right now. So when should I shift my focus out to DSA? Okay. Swarangi, I think like you are learning AWS right now. Okay, so I think you should start focusing on DSA. Okay, you can keep aside AWS. Okay, you can do parallel, or you can keep this AWS aside, because you will get a lot of time to learn these AWS things, but you will not get the time to learn DSA, because in the DSA, once you approach, like you are in second year right now. Okay, but once you go in third year, your placement season will start. Okay, and you just have, I guess only 1 year left. Okay, in the 1 year you have to cover all these things and covering the DSA in 1 year, it's a very, I can say, very hard task. Okay, so you cannot cover DSA in just 1 year. You will at least 1.5 to 2 years. Okay, so I would say like you can stop learning AWS, or you can do it in parallel, but start coding. Okay, So the company which comes to campus will not ask you AWS. Okay, if you know AWS, it's a plus point, but they will not never ask you about AWS. Okay, they will just ask you coding problems. Okay, data structure they will ask you, operating system database they will ask you. So focus on the points what I mentioned in the preparation slide. These all those things like learning a framework, learning any kind of cloud platform, all those things are secondary one. Okay, if you don't know in the campus, if you don't know in the 4 years, you can also learn in the once you join the company. Okay, so these are the things that highlights you from different from other candidates, but it's not a necessary one. Okay, so I would suggest that you should first focus on the basic things in the journey of your 4 years, and then you should go for these higher frameworks like and cloud platforms. Okay, so if you are interested over there, you can learn those things, but focus should be on the basics first. Okay, Sarangi, I think I answered your
Yes.
question. Omkar, guys, you can put the question? Okay. Okay, how is the work culture in the companies like ThoughtWorks and Veritas? Okay, basically, Omkar, I am not from the Veritas and ThoughtWorks background, but I have my friends working over there. I would suggest that ThoughtWorks is a very good company. So in ThoughtWorks, you will get to learn many good things. Okay, so ThoughtWorks basically you will get to learn about test driven development. What is many of the companies don't follow the pattern of test driven development (TDD). Okay, but ThoughtWorks follows. Okay, so the standards of the coding are very good in the ThoughtWorks. So you will get to know about different coding standards in the ThoughtWorks itself. So ThoughtWorks is a very good company as part as you have mentioned. Another is Veritas. Veritas is a good company. Like in the Veritas, what happens? In Veritas, you will have a different domain. Okay, so ThoughtWorks is in the different domain. Veritas is in the different domain. Veritas is in the data backup domain. Okay, so they like the data backup from computer servers or laptops. Okay, so Veritas is also a good company. Both of them are good companies. And about work culture, I didn't got your point. Like work culture means a technical one or what? I didn't got. Maybe you can rewrite your question below, like what culture you are talking about. Okay, so culture means in technical terms, I told that culture at both the companies are good one. Okay, uh, as FY students, what are they? Okay. I just missed the point of internships. Okay, so internships means like you can do the internship in the second year, third year. Okay, so for FY students, if you get the opportunity, it's well and good. But for the second year, third year students, it's very important or not important, I can say, but it's a good thing, a plus point thing. Like if you do internship. Okay, so for internships, like there are different companies who are hiring interns. Like Microsoft is hiring interns, Amazon is hiring interns. Okay, from Pune, I think Frondor hired few interns. Permatic hired interns. Okay, so like those are in second year, start searching for internship opportunities. Okay, so you can do like people will say that doing internship will you will not get a time to study your academics once you're doing internships. Okay, don't focus on such students. Okay, you should basically do internships. So internships are very important things once you go apply for interviews, because it becomes a very plus point and it highlights you from other candidates that you have done the internship. And once you do internship, you don't like focus should be on learning the technical things as well as non-technical things. Okay, so the culture what is in the campus or what is in the college, it's very different from the culture that you are in the company. Okay, once you do internship, you will also be able to know the culture of the company, like how is the company, how people are doing working over there, what is the business model of the company, all those things, like what coding standards are followed in the company, how coding is done, what coding we are doing in the college, and what coding company people are doing. Okay, what subjects we are learning in the college, and what we are implementing in the industry. Okay, so all those things you will get to know from these internships. Okay, so for internship opportunities, I listed the few companies like what I told now, and also the slides which I shared previous one. There were a list of companies, around 70-80 companies were there. So you can always message the HR of those companies or alumni, Valchin alumni, and you can tell them that I am a second year guy, first year guy, third year guy looking for internship opportunities. Okay, and I have these strong points. This is my skill set. All those things. Okay, so for internships, it's a very plus point that if you do in the internship. Okay, then Akash, what things you think one should learn from like finance? Finance. I didn't got your questions. Like finance means like how is finance related with the technical? I didn't got your question, Akash. You can rewrite your question if you can. Then Omkar can you guide me about something? Omkar, I can tell you about general questions asked in the interview, like technical and non-technical. Technical are already listed out. Non-technical one I will tell, like non-technical, like they will, HR or we can say manager also might ask you like, is there any situation that you and your teammates were working on any kind of project and you had some kind of what we can say miscommunication between you, or there was some kind of fight between you with you and your partner in the project or in your team. Okay, so such non-technical question like that, and how you resolve that condition. Okay, how you were able to complete your project. Was your project complete on time, or was late? Okay, how you follow the deadlines. Okay, so these are non-technical questions. Again, they will ask you why do you want to join our company. Okay, what things about our company do you like. Okay, then they might also ask you like where you will see 5 years down the line. After 5 years, what you will see, like who will be you here in the company, like at what position you should see yourself. Okay, so all those questions are non-technical questions are asked once you apply on any kind of on-campus off-campus placements. Okay, how do you deal with the very last question? Any questions for us? Okay, how do you deal with the last question? Okay, the interviewer will ask you any questions for us. Okay, so in that case you should be like, if you don't ask any kind of question, okay, it will not create any kind of positive impact. Okay, it will not create negative impact, but it will not create a positive impact. Okay, it will be just normal situation that okay, its interview was so. Okay, but once you start asking questions, okay, it creates a positive feedback in the interviewer's mind, like this guy is interested in our company. Okay, so in that situation you should ask the question like what technology stack the current company is doing. Okay, in what technology stack current company is working, like what is the culture over there, what is the business model of the company, like what are the different projects you are working upon, like what is your team size. Okay, then you can ask him like that, what is your position and how is your experience with the company, since how many years you are working with the company, what is your experience over there. Okay, so all those things you can ask. Like few highlighted questions are like, what is your technology stack. Okay, then second question you should ask, what's your project. Okay, what project you are working upon. And then other questions you can ask that interviewer guy. Okay, how is your experience working with ShareChat? What type of work are you done in ShareChat? Okay, basically ShareChat, I am basically working in the chat team. Okay, in the ShareChat there is chatting. Okay, once you open the application, you will be able to see chatting. Okay, you can chat with others. Chat with others, and we have another feature called chat room. Okay, so many people I might be using Instagram. Okay, in Instagram, once you scroll to right, okay, you will see chats over there. Okay, also with chats you have option of room, ROOM, room. Okay, now Instagram has updated the option of room over there. Previously there was no room over there. Okay, there was just a chat option over there. So room means like people are coming, like suppose there is one the chat room means just a kind of meeting. Okay, it's just a kind of meeting where a lot of people are joined around like we can say 1,000 people, 50 people, like varying from ranges. Okay, and they are available in different what we can say original languages. Okay, once you join any kind of chat room, you will be able to listen few kind of few musics. You can able to share virtual gifts with the friends in the chat room. Okay, so all those things like sharing virtual gifts with the friends in the chat room, managing the chat room. Okay, then making the host of the chat room, co-host of the chat room, then adding audio features to chat room, all those things basically I'm currently working in the ShareChat. Okay, what do you have? Okay, so campus, the question of business intelligence and data analyst, I would say no. On the campus basically companies are coming for QA and software development role. I don't see any company coming for business intelligence and data analytics in the campus. Okay, what things and suggestions one should learn from better growth in the finance stock market. This stock market and finance, I would not be a right person to answer this question, but still I will try to answer. Stock market and finance. Okay, for better growth in the life, like you better growth in life, like I'm not getting the question, but still I'm trying to answer. Like better growth in life, you should focus on technical non-technical things. I would just answer the question in one line. Okay, start reading the blogs. Okay, start building activities like reading the blogs. Okay, we have different technical blogs, websites. Start reading the blogs. Start reading like what are the current technologies that are coming, what are the few latest technologies, what technologies are currently used, what technologies are vanished, like PHP is very less, very rarely used in the companies. Okay, so start exploring this knowledge about blogs, reading blogs. Okay, I would suggest that point. uh, is codeship or lead code would be sufficient for DSA? For on campus, I would say lead code, start so solving a few problems of lead code would be sufficient. Like you don't have to solve all problems on campus. On campus, like it's okay if you solve around 300, 400 problems. Okay, and codeship, code forces, I would say it's not necessary for on campus activities, but codeship is necessary. Okay, codeship and lead code is the important once it comes to campus. Okay, and once you go off campus, you have to practice all codeship, code forces, lead code. Okay, Nidish. Sir, I personally enjoy talking parts in hackathons. How important is the from a point of placement? Okay. Uh, Swarangi, so as I told you about internships, so it's similar with hackathons. Okay, so as internships make a plus point, hackathons also makes a plus point in the interview. Like suppose if you tell that I have participated in the hackathon, I have participated in WC hackathon or ACM hackathon, and I have done this project in the hackathon. Okay, the interviewer will start taking interest you in your profile. He will he will dig into it and he will ask you a lot of questions like what was the project in the hackathon, was it a 24-hour hackathon or was it a virtual or non-virtual hackathon? What was your team size? What was your project? What was your problem statement? So first of all, you should start explaining like about it was a 24-hour hackathon, like this was a problem statement given to us, and then he will ask you like how you designed the problem, like how you designed the answer to the solution. Okay, sorry, how you designed the solution, what was your way of thinking, what was your technology stack used. Okay, all those things he will dig into. Okay, so once you start answering these questions, the interview will start making will have a positive impact on you, like that this guy is a very good one. Okay, he has done these projects in the hackathons and in this 24-hour timeline, so it becomes a very plus point, like as internships. Okay, which MNCs visit Walchan? Okay, MNCs like Veritas is the MNC which visits Walchan. Then we have NICE visiting the Walchan. Then we have ThoughtWorks visiting the Walchan. Then NICE, ThoughtWorks, Veritas. I think yeah, these are the only MNCs coming to Walchan. Others are startups. Basically, in my point of view, the company which has employee count less than 1,000 is a startup only, or we can call a settled startup. Okay, and the startups which have employee count less than 200 or 100, we can call those startups as emerging startups. Okay, so mostly for Walchan, emerging startups and established startups comes. Okay, and for MNCs just Veritas and NICE and Eaton. ThoughtWorks are coming. Okay. So how should one prepare for project related questions? Okay. For project related questions, you should prepare on the first point should be problem statement. Like you should be able to explain the problem statement. Problem statement should be clear one. Okay. In one line, you should be able to explain the problem statement to the interviewer. Like this was the problem statement, and how you figure out the problem. Like what was the problem? How you figured out it? Like how you got to know that this is the problem. Okay, and you should be explained to point number 2 should be this, like how you figured out the problem. Third point should be how you try to answer the problem. Okay, how you try to resolve the problem. Okay, so like what technology stack you used for that, like what things came into your mind, like what technology we can use. Okay, first point should be a non-technical one. You should start with problem statement first. Second point should be you should start with the technical things. Okay, then what technology stack you choose one. I choose this technology. Then interviewer might ask you why you choose this technology only. Okay, suppose you choose, there are in databases, there are two kinds of databases. We have SQL database and NoSQL database. Okay, SQL means where we have databases in the tables. Tables are there in the tables. We have primary key, foreign key, all those things. Okay, and NoSQL databases are databases where data is stored in JSON format. Okay, where it's not a structured database. Okay, it's we can call unstructured database. So if you use MongoDB in your database, so interview will definitely ask you why you use the MongoDB and why don't you use SQL in your database. Okay, so you should be able to answer those questions. Like you should be able to tell them that benefits of SQL. Like this is like all those MongoDB and SQL both are important. Okay, but in which scenario which is important, that depends. Okay, so for the from project to project it varies that you should use SQL or MongoDB. So you should be able to explain that MongoDB has these benefits and I use MongoDB for that. My data is mostly unstructured one. Okay, so suppose you are developing an application like e-commerce website like Flipkart, so you should go with the MongoDB database. Like you can tell them that every product has different kind of we can say characteristics, and to store different kind of characteristics for different problems, we cannot have a table for it. Okay, our table will become a very big one. Okay, like if different products are different characteristics, so in MongoDB it becomes very easy one. Okay, you can tell in like that way. Suppose you are doing any kind of application, like it's a banking application where we are doing transaction. Suppose let's consider a company like Barclays or HDFC Bank or anyone like Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. They are basically using SQL databases, because in SQL database it is guaranteed that our transaction will not fail. Okay, if it's failed, we can roll back it. Okay, so it becomes very important. Like suppose from my account money is deducted, and from the receivers for the receiver's account it's not credited. Okay, so in this situation our database will become inconsistent. So a retransaction should happen. That first old transaction should we can say roll back, and the new transaction should start. Anyhow, the money which was deducted from the sender's account should come to sender's account once again, or it should go to the receiver's account. So it should not be in the middle stage. Okay, so for that we are basically using SQL databases. Okay, CPP versus development, competitive program. Okay, CP versus development. Okay, I would suggest that CP versus development. First of all, you should start CP. Okay, for in the first year, second year phase, we should start doing CP first. Okay, focus should be CP first. Priority should be CP. Second should be development. Okay, so that is what I think. Okay, because most of the companies have the first round and second round of competitive coding round, and the first round is almost all of companies have coding one. You have to code over there. So competitive programming is must for that, cracking those interviews. So many of my friends on my from my IT department itself were very good in development. Like they were very excellent. No one can catch them in the development part, but they were weak in the competitive programming. So they were not placed, or they were placed in the companies having less CTC. Okay, but they were very good at development. But my few of my friends, like where there was a Ganesh, again we have few friends of my classmates. Then from CSE we have Ajay, then we have Pranav, then we have Saurabh Pukale. So these were friends. They were doing completely. They were doing the coding part. So they were very good at coding, and you can see now these people are where. Okay, so computing programming is very first thing, and then you should focus on development. Okay, Naneshwar, I think I answered your question. Which is better, joining startup or joining well-established company as a first company? I would suggest start your journey with startups. Okay, because in startup you will get a lot of opportunities, learn new things. You will have complete ownership of the project. Like you will most of the time you will get a good task to work upon. In the MNCs, what happens? The projects are already established one, and you just have to modify the projects. In the startups, what you will have, you have to design the project from scratch. You will get ownership over there. I think I answered, Onkar. I think there are no more questions. If you guys any kind of questions, you can always ping me, or always you can message me. I think I have forgot to tell the last slide. I will just share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen, guys? Okay, guys, you can always reach out to me on my mail ID or my mobile number. Okay, so I have mentioned my WhatsApp number over there, and my mail ID is over there. Okay, you can always reach out to me if you have any kind of doubt in placements. You can always reach out to me. Like there are a lot of people. I will tell you name of the few people you can reach out. You can reach out to Ganesh Sanap from Walchan. Okay, he's my classmate from 2020 batch out, pass out. We have Ganesh, then me is there. You can reach out from CSC. You can reach out to Ajay. Then you can reach out to Pranav Raut, Ajay Gunjar, Saurabh Pukade. Okay, so all those people you can reach out. From Walchan, from IT, Abhishek Kotkar also you can reach out, Adish Deshpande. Okay, so this is my contact number and email ID. You can always reach out to us. You can always ask the doubts to us. We are always happy to answer you. Okay.
Okay, looks like there are no more doubts. So thank you so much, Saurav sir, for all your wisdom and experiences that you shared today. Our warmest gratitude for everything, and all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Sarangi.
Yeah. So we would like to hear some feedback from the audience now. So if anybody can please unmute and give us short feedback on how you liked the session. or you can even put it in the chat box.
And guys, one more thing, guys, don't call me sir. You can directly call with my name, Saurav. Okay, so no one, please don't call me sir. Okay, and also once you reach out to me on WhatsApp or phone, don't call me sir. Okay, you can call me directly Saurav, because I am also just 2020 password and I am just like your friend. Okay.